from Rita Sorensen, who's a college roommate of Sandy. Your mom was my roommate for 2 adventurous years in Carson Hall, an all-women's dorm. Our room was next to the law library. We had a huge balcony and the cafeteria was right underneath. She liked to sunbathe, so she had no tan lines. Told me because the wall was so high not to worry. She explained she could become fully covered before standing up to not give the law students a free show. Great for sunbathing, which we did in spite of numerous notices that we were to stop. Several 7:30 early morning classes we shared. We worked it out so we switched out going every other day so it would not become boring and we could just share notes. Always telling me I took too much time fixing my hair. She could take 5 minutes and her hair always looked better than mine. Amazing how she used the curling iron in so many positions and with 5 or 6 maneuvers she'd be ready to go. She always made life always fun. Never laughed so much in my whole life since or now or since. Sincere sympathy for sisters and your lovely daughters. Her love runs deep to those she cares about. I am so sorry to be missing this celebration of her life. We'll be there in heart, spirit, and mind. Glad she's out of pain. Blessings, peace, and all remembering all the joy she contributed and how she made so many persons' life better just by being a part of it.
I have some words to share with you all from my mom's sisters and from her mom. They're the people who knew her entire life. The first is from Diane. On September 14th, 1948, in Long Beach, California, after a very long labor, Sandra Louise Harris was born. She was destined to be a very strong, positive influence in the lives of those with whom she came in contact. The job of trying to say a few words on her behalf that even remotely expresses how deeply we feel for this beautiful person lays heavy on our hearts. There are not words that are sufficient. I knew it would be hard to lose my big sister. I did not realize how hard. She was always the one person I could be truly honest with about how I felt about things, and I could tell that I could tell my deep, dark secrets too. She knew things about me no one else knew. As I thought of her, the first memory that came to mind happened when I was in 2nd grade. For some reason, I keep thinking it was first, but it had to be second because I could read. She had a Bible story she gave to me. The book itself was important to me and shaped my life, but the incident gave more importance to our relationship. It showed who Sandy was. She did not just give me a book that she did not want. My loving sister gave it to me in a loving manner, knowing how much it meant to me and respecting my feelings. Throughout my life, that was always something I loved her for. Although she did not share my deep religious beliefs, she had her own. She stood up for me when others mocked me about that and other things. Sandy always believed in treating people with love and kindness. She was a good, kind person. She was always my big sister who looked out for me. An organizer and a leader, she organized things for us to do. I suppose I can blame her for my love of theater. When we were very young, she would direct skits for us girls to perform for our parents. One of those performances was Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Sandy and I would sing it together. It is a song I sang all of my life. I always remembered her when I did. I was always in awe of her. I wanted to be like her. She was pretty, smart, funny, talented, and gentle. Of course, the list goes on. Her accomplishments in life were many. Academically, she was placed in the advanced classes starting in the 4th grade. She went on to receive a degree in medical technology from Temple University and a degree in art from the University of Oregon. She learned to sew when she was in 4-H and received a blue ribbon on her long lined coat. Anyone who knows anything about sewing knows how difficult making a long-lined coat is. In order to do this, she was in the advanced sewing class. Sandy did not stop there. She kicked it up a notch. She had a beautiful cashmere coat that did not fit, so she made a coat out of it for her little girl Molly. Only a die-hard seamstress can make a pattern from another garment and make it into something else. I only know one other person who could have done that, and that was her grandmother, Robison. Sandy was also an excellent horsewoman. Rider and horse were one when she was astride Cinder. Cinder was a Mustang and could not be ridden without a saddle. He would wait patiently for you to get off him, and as soon as you gave him the signal to go, he would turn in a fast signal and flip you off, unless you had a saddle on him. Sandy showed him mainly in hand trail. She showed him showing the horse. Mainly in hand trail showmanship. She won many ribbons with him. She loved the farm life, and I think she was sad to leave it, but not so much that she looked back. The important thing about Sandy, she had many bumps in her life, but there were two stars that were the most important things in the world to her. And they were, and still are, her two daughters and that grandson of hers. Through everything, nothing meant anything without them. After we both left home, we were not in touch with each other very much. We called each other on the phone and spoke, but nothing ever changed. Her heart was always full of love, mainly for her girls. That love and concern for all mankind spilled over into everything she did. She stood tall, unafraid of what other people thought of her. She voted and spoke her conscience. That conscience was always dictated by what she felt was the most caring and loving action. You may not always agree with one another, but in agreeing to disagree, there was a respect for the individual and their rights to believe as they would. This was something very defining in who she was. Sandy, thank you for the sunshine you always spread around, and for teaching us to have strength and to spread it around us. Richer, for having known you, we will keep you always in our hearts, and to know that our loving Heavenly Father now holds you in his arms. This is from her sister Roxanne, who we know as Foxy Roxy. Very different personality. To my sister Sandy, I will miss you every day. I will always carry special memories of us raising our babies together. Our firstborn were born just 3 weeks apart. When Molly and Sarah, as newborns, were sleeping at your house, I thought Molly's wake-up cry was your cat. When Sarah did the same, you thought she sounded like a foghorn. Then Sadie and Ben were in your backyard throwing rocks at cars, passing below, and hit one. We had no clue they were doing that. I'll bet we were practicing singing together. We sang our hearts out. Oldies but goodies, and got to sing in a little nightclub band. How fun. It was like we were obsessed with it, practicing all day with our microphones, thinking we were incredible. What fun. I think we were neglecting our children, though. We were always on the same wavelength. I think about you, and within minutes you would call me, or vice versa. We'd talk and laugh for hours. Your continual quest to search and find universal truths inspired me to do the same. We shared the same interests in authors and philosophies. And for the last 2 years, we shared your journey through your illness. I was able to teach you how to meditate, and you let me into your heart in a very special way. My most recent favorite memory with you was when I took you to see Mama and Salmon. It was a very long trip. but we played CDs and sang and harmonized at the top of our lungs all the way. I was hoarse by the time we got there. My heart was filled with such love and joy. It was as if no time had passed between our early years of singing and laughing hysterically on that road trip. We always spoke our deepest truths with each other. We never went through superficial, "I'm fine," conversation. You were always a force of your own, fiercely independent in some ways. I am and always will be so grateful for the bond we shared, like we shared with no other. I am so glad that you are no longer suffering. I felt it in my own way that I could relate to yours. We shared that, each in our own way, but together. Of all the things you have said to me that I treasured, I will never forget the times you told me I was helping you in your struggles. That was an honor to me. I will never forget you, and I will miss you always. Be in peace and eternal joy. I love you. From